And now we do the Outlander hero. In every game I've ever played, there is always one class that seems to cause the most polarization among players. And definitely, from what I've seen in Fortnite, the Outlander definitely gets a lot of people that absolutely love the Outlander, and a lot of people who just straight out hate him. I know I've actually had two or three incidents where I've logged into a zone with an Outlander, and right away somebody playing a soldier or ninja is like, hey, I'm leaving, I don't play with Outlanders. Fortunately, it happened very few times at low levels, but to let you know, first of all, everybody should play an Outlander so they understand how an Outlander can be used to help your team. And also with the Outlander, and I'll get through this. And actually, this guy right here is one of the most polarizing ones in the game. He is not in your resources book, so I wanted to deal with him first here. He was from a special event, the Halloween event, obviously, with the blood dripping down his chin. And we will go running through him first. On bonuses, he just has the work increased harvesting tool damage by 24%, which if you're focusing on harvesting, that is a huge bonus. And it comes in as a big bonus on his number 2 item, the Loot Llama. If you played Fortnite, you see these little blue mechanical orbs. The blue ones are for teddy bears and shock towers. The purple ones are for the Loot Llamas. Having this increased hit damage, when he gets a Loot Llama, he can actually max out that Loot Llama all on his own to get the maximum amount of resources. And for the most part, this character is a carbon copy of a regular Outlander you can get, the Pathfinder, with a noticeable exception right here on his level 2 power, where the Loot Llama down at the bottom, you can see where it says Diamond Llama. The regular Pathfinder does not get that. The special holiday event one does, and hopefully it'll come around again next Halloween. And this gives an increased yield to your Loot Llama by 50% and drops additional crystal and ore on destruction. And with the Outlanders, and mainly on ones like this one, the Pathfinder, and there's another build I'll be showing you, they can be helpful on a team of 4, but really where they shine is soloing them. I like to solo my Storm Shield defense missions. Those eat up an enormous amount of resources, and nobody can get those resources I need faster than this Outlander. So if you don't want to level them up to play them in the game on a team, definitely level them up to play them solo to get the resources you need when you need them. And pressing on, as I said, level 2, he gets the Loot Llama right away. At 2, he can pick up the blue mechanical orbs and to do the teddy bear. This is one thing a lot of people have complained about, the fragment issue, where all your other perks on your constructor, soldier, and ninja, they have a time reset and eat up energy. But on the perks for the Outlander, like the teddy bear, and later on you'll see the shock tower, you just have to be lucky and find them. And the rate of them in the zone varies. I know I've gone into zones and I will see 4 or 5 Loot Llamas, and I'll see one of the blue ones for the teddy. And then I'll go in the next zone and I won't see any Loot Llamas, but I see a ton of the teddy bears. There is also the issue, and definitely know this when you're playing, the fragments go in the same slot and the Loot Llama is always on top. So if you have several of these fragment charges, like 2 of the teddy bears on top, you run over and grab a Loot Llama and then you get attacked, you can't put down the teddy to help defend you and to help kill the husk without first putting down the Loot Llama, which if you're being attacked means you no longer are going to be able to destroy it and get the loot out of it. but that is an issue Epic is already aware of, and they're trying to work that issue. The Teddy, if you use this strategically, this can actually be a fairly decent item. It's not going to do that much damage. It does last a little while. I try to find, if I know I'm being attacked and I want a little help with what's coming in, I will find an alleyway, I will find two cars next to each other or something where I can throw down the teddy bear so it will block that path so they cannot get through. And they don't attack the teddy. Then they'll start attacking the walls, they'll start attacking the cars while I'm standing behind the teddy, either running to get out of the view of the husk so they'll no longer be trying to get to me, or I'll be standing behind the teddy attacking the husk as they're unable to get around it to get to me. And you can even double up. As I said, you could have two of these fragments, throw down two of them side by side and block out a larger area. And then heading down to the level 5 pass zone, this increase your run speed while in the zone, which which is what you get at level 1. After 5 hits with your pickaxe, you gain in the zone, which I'm sorry I skipped over because that is a huge power on this, which increases your pick's damage by 48%. And there will be other bonuses on this as we keep pressing on. So now you're increasing your hit damage within the zone, and now you're increasing your run speed, which one thing with the in the zone, it gets taken off when you attack. And then you gotta go run over, hit something else 5 times, and then you get it back. Level 8, this is one of the key powers, is Keen Eyes. It reveals containers which contain valuable objects within 2 tiles while in the zone. This is one reason why I say you should definitely play an Outlander very early in the game. I did not, and I noticed a huge difference later, because after I played an Outlander, I could just run around first with the Outlander and see all these objects through the walls of where treasures were hidden, where ammo stashes are usually hidden, where there's false walls and false rooms, where you find usually really nice treasures. And then after playing the Outlander for a while, I switched back to my soldier, and I knew where to go looking at, even without the keen eyes to tell me for a fact there's an object behind that false wall. I knew the false wall was there. I could knock it down and check to see if the item was there. So it helped me, obviously, with your Outlander. This allows you to find treasure chests and tons of ammo and everything else you want to gather really fast. But after playing it for a little while, that benefit also helps your other characters while running around the zone. This power, also at level 8, anti-material charge. It performs a punch that travels half a tile, deals damage to any structure punched, and blunt damage to enemies. It'll knock back smaller enemies. In truth, I hardly ever use this to attack Husk. It is a great power for increasing the amount of materials you gather with this character. I watch it very closely. The second it recharges, boom, I'm taking out another clump of rocks, taking out some more trees, whatever is in my way, clears them out in a heartbeat. Great to use for gathering. I do not want to get up close and personal with Husk with this character. He is very fragile. He is not doing much damage with his weapons. It is best to keep him as far away from other Husks as much as possible. So once again, I very rarely ever use that power actually to do damage. Loot find, you get a 6% extra chance to find double loot. That is great, mainly in very hard to find loot. Getting that bonus to double it, that will make life much easier when you're gathering up parts for building structures and for building traps and other things. 18, now your keen eyes is increased by 1 tile, so now it's up to 3 tiles. Phase shift is really good power. I need to use it more. You heard me talk about on the soldier, where he had a power to stop him from getting falling damage. Same thing with ninja, he has a power to stop him from getting falling damage. The constructor I don't think has one, but the Outlander, phase shift. Go running over the edge of a cliff, falling down, and a second before I hit the ground, I hit phase shift. I take 0 damage from falls. That is a great ability. It is also a great ability when you got a bunch of husk on you and there's an area where you can jump over from building to building or across a ditch or whatever. You can just use phase shift, get to the other side, and give you the distance to get away from the husk. I also, now that I'm spent a lot of time with the Outlander, I'm actually great at kiting the mist monsters. With a taker, I can take down 2 takers at the same time, same level as me, and never take a point of damage properly using my phase shift. And same thing with the husk. I'll bait the husk out to a corner where they'll go over a cliff. I wait for it to charge. As soon as it gets close, hit phase shift, and the smasher goes off the cliff, and I go about my business. At level 25, you get Diamond Llama. This increases the yield of building materials from llamas. Fortunately, and this is one thing also from playing an Outlander. Now when I'm playing any other character, I see one of those fragment charges, I click on it, it gives me a slight speed bonus, but more importantly, it marks it on the map for that zone for any Outlander player to see where it's at, and they can come get it. And that's really a sign of an experienced player doing that. And I know a lot of times if you get a good Outlander like this and he's on a team where you got to build something to defend it, they will be running around grabbing every loot llama in the zone, bringing it over to the structure that's going to be built, everybody bashing it, and all those materials going to the constructor, and they head off to grab another loot llama. And if on average, I would say you could find 2 or 3 in the zone, and that is a great thing, and it will make people actually appreciate the Outlanders more like they probably should when properly played. 30, deep in the zone, increases your damage resistance by 14%, okay? And pickaxe damage when you're in in the zone. Damage resistance isn't that big of a deal because if you're in the zone, you're not fighting, because the second you take one shot, it's gone. But the pickaxe damage is great. The faster you can gather materials, either for yourself or to get over to the fort, the better life is for the whole group. So definitely a character, even if you only play it when you're soloing, definitely a great character to get when they do bring it back, hopefully for the next Halloween event. And now we'll hop over to the collector's book to do the rest of the Outlanders. And we will go with the Enforcer. His bonus is increased max shield, a nice little thing to have on any character. And he starts off with the anti-material charge. You just kind of heard my effect on that, where yeah, it's great to help harvesting, but I don't ever use it for attacking actual husk because I don't want them within striking distance of me. He can do the loot llama at level 2 along with the teddy, and then things start increasing for the teddy bear. The duration by 5 seconds. To me, if you're going to increase anything on the teddy, duration is the best, simply because, as I said, I use it more as a tool to hinder the husk getting to me than I actually use it for damage. It will do damage, but it isn't massive, mainly if you're running in zones higher level than yourself. Shield bonus, okay. Since you are using the anti-material charge to attack creatures, this one helps you out by increasing your shield on it. You get your phase shift, which once again is great just running around the zone, or once you learn how to use it in battle is actually a great thing to have. And then you're back to helping out your teddy bear. It increases the range by 2 tiles. And phase shift forces the shield to regenerate for 4 seconds. Your shield will regenerate even if you continue to take damage, but it'll only regenerate at 20% of regular rate. Once again, this is giving you more defense because basically they're using this Outlander as a melee character. Level 18, Barricade. Enemies damaged by Teddy have movement and attack speed slowed by 30% for 6 seconds. Not too bad. In the zone, you finally get it at level 18. And as I stated before, this is for gathering more materials faster by being able to see the boxes and the treasure chests and the ammo containers that have a lot of items in them. You will run around and you'll notice some of items that will not be glowing, and that's because they only have a smaller amount of stuff in it, so it doesn't trigger the sight. Alright, upgrade bearings. Once again, you're increasing your Teddy's rate of fire, and 30 Berserker increased damage dealt by Teddy. To be honest, I've never seen anybody use this outside of the first area, Stonewood, just because, okay, you got a strong teddy bear, but you have no idea if you'll be able to find a fragment for it when you need it. And your character is set up to do melee damage with the anti-material charge, which is not the best place for your Outlander to be. And once again, any comments I make on here that you disagree with or have any strong opinions on, let me know in the comments. I know I'm not always right on this stuff, and I would love to hear your comments on it. Alright, your Recon Scout. 3% extra chance to find double loot. That is huge. That is a great bonus. You put this bonus with other one like a Pathfinder Outlander, which has 6. Now you've upped it to a 9% chance. And also this percentage increases as you level the character. So when I was running around with my Outlander solo simply to gather materials for my home base, this is the bonus I would have in the support squad bonus. Alright, right away, she is getting the end zone bonus with the pickaxe damage. And the Loot Llama, instead of getting the teddy bear, she gets the shock tower. And the shock tower just puts out this basically kind of disco ball looking light, or if you ever seen a Tesla shock tower, and it starts shooting out lightning bolts that can stun large enemies after multiple hits. It does decent damage, but it is nothing all that exciting. And once again, you have to find a fragment to use this. Once you use that fragment, you're out of luck until you find another one. Level 5 is Keen Eyes. Once again, revealing containers behind walls, starting off with 2 tiles. Passing zone, you got your increased run speed while you're in the zone. Phase shift, I talk about what a great one that is to use in combat and moving around the zone. Keener Eyes, you're increasing the range once again of in the zone by 1 tile. Phase Runner, now your phase shift increases movement speed by 25% for 4 seconds. As I stated, phase shift is great for kiting mobs or getting away from mobs, and now you're getting a speed boost with it. Loot Find, now you get a 6% extra chance to find double loot. You finally, at 18, get the anti-material charge. As I said, I love it for helping to gather, but not so much for fighting. Deep in the zone, increased damage resistance for you, and then your pickaxe damage also, and then a possible matrix. The Outlander can now store 1 more additional charge fragment, which is kind of a crucial thing. The more fragments you can hold, the better off you are, and the less chance you'll get caught without one of your defense items, in this case the shock tower. but kind of an average Outlander at best. We go to the Vanguard. His bonus, Stun Baton. Meal crits do increase impact and add 1.5 second of stun while enemy is interrupted. Once again, this would probably be mainly for a bonus if you're running a constructor and like using the blunt melee weapons, but it also could be used on your ninja also. But overall, there's probably a lot better perks out there. Right away, you start with the anti-material charge. You get the Loot Llama, and once again, you're getting Shock Tower on this one. At 5, Fist of the South Moon reduces the cooldown of your anti-material charge by 13 seconds, which actually is a significant reduction. So it cuts it in half. The normal time is 30 seconds. Structural Strike increases the damage the anti-material charge deals to structures by 37%. I'm not sure how much that's needed. I've never done an anti-material attack with my other character that doesn't have this bonus and not destroy everything that it hits. So it sounds good. I'm not sure how much it'd ever be used though. Phase Shift, once again, a great movement bonus for your character. Phase Out. When you do the phase shift, it reduces the refill time of the charge by 5 seconds. So now you can use it more often, which is a great thing to have. And your phase shift removes the energy cost of sprint for 4 seconds. As I stated, the main time I'm using phase shift is when I'm running, either to kite or to get away. And if you remove the energy cost of sprint, that gives you a nice perk to help in either one of those situations. And then you get a really nice one at level 18, regen energy 24% more quickly. Energy is always a great thing. The more energy you have on this character, the more you can run around and keep moving. And then 18, you also get in the zone finally. So you have to wait 18 levels to get that increased pickaxe damage. 25, you get Iron Knuckles. So now your anti-material charge does an additional 500% against enemies. This is a point where, yeah, okay, you're going to start doing some decent damage against Husk. It also puts on vulnerability to the enemies for 15 seconds. So at this point, yeah, he could do some damage. Once again, I don't recall anybody ever playing one of these guys. And at 30, he does get additional charge of phase shift. So he can run around fast, and he can do the anti-material charge for a hard hit, but I really don't see anybody using this one. Getting on with Striker. Bonuses on him. Increased blunt weapon damage and impact by 6% for support, and then tactical Bull Rush. Damage to non-friendly building. This one, a lot of people actually like to use. It's kind of a fun one. So now, kind of like the anti-material charge used by Outlander, where you hit it and it breaks through the wall and you get all that material. Now you can do that with Bull Rush, which runs through a large area. Starts off at 3 tiles. And everything you destroy with your Bull Rush, you now get that construction material. So it's a nice little bonus for your constructor. He starts off with anti-material charge again. As his name implies, Striker, probably going to be focused on doing that melee damage. And then he can do Loot Llama, and he gets the teddy bear, which we have covered. The pluses and minuses on. 5, strike costs. It reduces the cost of the anti-material charge. And then at 8, Fist of the Moon, it reduces the cooldown of the anti-material charge. So now you can do it more often and use up less energy using that ability. In the zone, after 5 hits with the pickaxe, you gain in the zone, which increases pickaxe damage. You get Structure Strike at 12, so now you're doing more damage to structures with the material charge. Long arm of the law at 15, increasing your travel distance, material charge to 1.5 tiles. That you have to be careful with, because a lot of times you're using anti-material charge to knock down walls and such. Just make sure you're not also destroying the items behind it that you're trying to get to. Work, you're increasing your harvesting tool damage, which if you're focused on gathering, that's a strong perk to have. You increase you get phase shift with obviously no perks coming up, but a good ability. Iron Knuckles, increasing the damage once again by 500%. So you do get that one really strong good strike with the anti-material charge once you get to 25. And Charged Fist, 30 Charged Fist. The material charge can be charged up by holding down the activation key, dealing up to 200 additional damage. So now you're really got a massive damage punch. But once again, not seeing that Outlander used, and I don't see much of a use of him. Now we get to Trailblazer, support squad bonus. This is huge, mainly for other Outlanders. We haven't hit one yet, but there are Outlanders that are really heavy focused on pistol damage, and having this added on top of that is just a great thing to have. And obviously, if you have a soldier who you enjoy using a pistol for, you can put it on there also. And then for tactical, you can increase decoy. If you watch my video on constructors, you know how much I love decoy, and there is 2 constructors that are really focused on using decoy. So this will periodically damage all enemies within the attraction radius. This turns into a big deal, because if you're doing damage to those enemies and you're killing those enemies, then they're not beating on your decoy to destroy it earlier. So this helps make the decoy last longer while also killing the mobs. So great bonus. On her, right away she has Shock Tower and the Llama. And then she even gets the Teddy as well. So for your fragments, she gets all 3 of them that she could use. At 5, she gets increased duration of the Shock Tower. 8, you increase the range of your Teddy attacks. In the zone at level 8, kind of halfway through the lower levels, you get the 5 hits with the pickaxe and gain in the zone. Then you get Super Capacitor. You're further increasing your Shock Tower, followed by Barricade. Enemies damaged by Teddy have movement and attack speed slowed by 30% for 6 seconds. That is kind of decent for the Teddies. Anything like that has a control factor to it, I always enjoy. 18, once again, building up your Shock Tower with Forked Lightning. Now you emit a 3rd bolt of Chain Lightning, striking up to 7 additional targets. Anti-material charge finally at 18. 25, the Impossible Matrix. The Outlander can now store an additional fragment. This is pretty decent deal. Get as many fragments on there as you can. I hate running around seeing a group of fragments and me having to leave them behind, because I don't want to have to run all the way across the zone when I want to use another fragment. And then Electroshock. Your Shock Tower deals a 133% additional damage, impact damage. So now it's at that point where it's finally starting to really pay off with the Electric Shock Tower. But once again, a very little used Outlander. You got your Shock Specialist bonus, and for the tactical slot, and Shockwave for your soldier now grants 40% damage resistance for 6 seconds. Shockwave is an attack that soldier uses that's centered on him, so it's being used defensively for things coming up doing melee damage on your soldier, so having additional resistance is a nice thing, but little use bonus perk there. Going through his, once again, he gets phase shift, so right away he can move faster and get around. He gets the loot llama and the shock tower, obviously from his name. 5, his shock tower duration increases by 2 seconds. Level 8, now it's increased in damage by 35%. So getting that shock tower up as fast as possible. He gets also the anti-material charge. Level 12, it reduces the refill time of phase shift charge, so allowing you to move around even faster throughout the zone. Fork lightning at 15, you're once again increasing your shock tower. The third bolt, which we saw before. 18, super capacitor, further increases the duration of shock tower. And in the zone, after 5 hits with a pickaxe, gain in zone with increased pickaxe damage. You don't get until level 18, but nice to have once you have it. 25, your shock tower is doing even more with that 133 additional damage. And then phased and confused. Your phase shift has 1 additional charge to it. So this guy can move around really fast and has a really powerful shock tower. And there are better Outlanders than it out there. Whoops. Let's hit the right button here. We get into the Trailblazer. Increased movement speed by 10% while on player-built forts. Might be a nice thing for a constructor to have. But yeah, there's a lot better bonus perks out there. Has the loot llama, and then the teddy bear, and then the shock tower. So has all 3 items. And we did a Trailblazer already. And it looks like these are all the same thing, where they're increasing the teddy bear and they're increasing the shock tower. She gets the anti-material charge. Where we're going, we don't need roads, so you get increased movement speed by 15% while on player-built forts, player-built floors. Movement's always good. Super capacitor, shock tower, increasing more. Barricade, the teddy bear, more. And also in the zone, so you finally get your pickaxe at 18. And then, once again, the possibility matrix, you got getting another fragment. And then at 30, increasing your teddy bear's rate of fire. And that is the Trailblazer. And then we get to the Pathfinder. Her bonuses is the work, so increasing your harvesting tool damage. And I use that on early zones on my constructor a lot of time, because people usually expect the constructor to do most of the building, which means he's using up most of the resources. So having a pickaxe that does more damage helps out. And then she gets the pickaxe herself. After 5 hits with the pickaxe, she gains an increase of 24%. You get the llama and the teddy. Then you get increased run speed while you're in the zone by 12%, which is great. Keen eyes, now you can see objects through walls that have resources for you. Anti-material charge, okay, you can do the punch at level 8. Once again, I enjoy it for resource gathering, not so much for killing husk. 12, loot find. You get 6% extra chance to find double loot. That is a big deal. Before I got the Outlander from the special Halloween event, this was the Outlander I used to gather for my Storm Shield, but usually I did it on solo play. Level 15, got work, so you're increasing your harvesting weapon damage again. 18, keener eyes, so now you can see treasure chests and other items by 3 tiles away. Phase shift helps you get around the zone faster and help you in fighting. She has the diamond llama, which increases yield of building materials by 50% from that loot llama, which is a pretty big increase. And then finally, Deep End Zone, increasing damage resistance by 14% and pickaxe damage. So for regular Outlanders, one's not from special events, this one is a really good gatherer, getting out there, and I would definitely recommend her. But unless you are running back and forth in a group delivering materials to whoever's building the fort, probably wouldn't play her. The one I would play and been waiting to get to is the Ranger Deadeye. He has a bonus hip shot, increased pistol damage by 12%. That is huge, mainly if you slot that into a Ranger Deadeye, as you will see. He has the phase shift to help him move faster. He has the loot llama, and he can get the teddy. But his real power and his focus is on level 5, increases chance to get a crit hit with pistols by 20%. So that is a huge plus. Pistols that usually have a good crit range already, so you're just increasing that. Shield boost, so you got a stronger defense there by 20%. He does have the anti-material charge. 12, we're back to the pistol. Now you're increasing the pistol's crit hit damage by 70%. So first you increase the chance of crits. Now you're increasing the damage of crits. Phase shift, once again, forces the shield to regenerate for 4 seconds. So this is a defensive measure. So now your shield will regenerate even if you continue to take damage. That is a pretty big deal because this guy is focused on being a fighter and standing with the soldiers to take out all the husk. And a well-played dead-eyed ranger will put out great DPS and can keep up with the soldier and can keep up with the ninja on the combat scores. 18, hip shot. Once again, you're increasing pistol damage by 24%. In the zone. 18, you finally get the pickaxe additional damage. 25, unfazed. Phase shift removes affliction, fatigue, vulnerability, and slow. Those are huge when I'm fighting. Definitely now when they have an event going on where just killing a husk will cause them to slow you if you're close to them. And that is a huge plus in battle. And then 30, phased and confused. Phase shift has 1 additional charge. So if you want to find an Outlander that people actually enjoy having in their group and can do massive damage, Ranger Deadeye is great. It took me the longest time to get one, and then I finally got cards without an issue. And then we go to Phase Scout. Whoops. Or we try to go to Phase Scout. Her bonuses increase movement speed by 6%, which increases as she levels. I wish I had her just to put that bonus in my characters. I love running around, and the faster I can run, the happier I am. Tactical Squad. Smoke Stance increases movement by 20% for 5 seconds. Obviously, that's to help out your ninja that has that ability. And then on to perks. Right away, she has the phase shift power. And then she can pick up the loot llamas, and she can pick up the fragments to do the shock towers. But that does not seem what she's focused on. She is focused on number 5, Phase Runner. Phase shift increases movement speed by 25% for 4 seconds. That is a huge bonus and a great help. Level 8, phased out. It reduces the refill time of phase shift charges by 5 seconds. And also at 8, after 5 hits with the pickaxe, you finally get the increased pickaxe damage. Phasic Energy at 12, phase shift removes the energy cost of sprint for 4 seconds. Once again, a great bonus for moving around the zone faster. 15, Keen Eyes, so now she can see the objects through the walls. 18, phase forward. Increase the teleport distance of phase shift to 2 tiles. That is also another huge bonus for people who enjoys kiting or just needs to get away from a mob fast. Finally, get anti-material charge. It's 18, but obviously no perks on that. And then 25, phase and confuse, as we've seen before, an additional charge of phase shift and deep in the zone. Increase damage resistance by 14% and pickaxe damage by additional 24% in zone. So she is definitely a great Outlander to have. And then we have a few that have popped up in special events. We'll hit Trail Blaster AC. First of all, bonuses, make it count. The pistol bonus, which I love so much, and the support. And then in tactical, you have the decoy bonus, which is a nice thing to have on certain constructors. And this is very similar to other Trail Blaster, where you're going to have Shock Tower and the Loot Llama, and then also the Teddy, so you get all 3 of them. And you're going to get increases basically all down the line for this Trail Blaster. For Shock Tower increase, Teddy increase, you get your end zone at level 8, which isn't bad. Super Capacitor helping your Shock Tower at 12. 15, Barricade helping your Teddy Bear. 18, Fork Lightning, get also anti-material charge. 25, you're now getting additional fragment, and at 30, you're getting your Shock Tower doing more damage. Like I said, this is a rarely played hero, the Outlander, that has the Trail Blaster. Heading down here to Scavengers. This is definitely one to look out for, and if he comes around again, grab him. If nothing else, then the bonuses. These bonuses, mainly when I place it with the other Outlanders I use to solo with to gather materials. Slotting this guy is great when you have him in support. He got a 10% extra chance to find double ammo. And when you place him in tactical, now your Loot Llama, when you bash that, it will drop ammo, and it drops a lot of ammo of all types. When I got to the very end levels of the game, I started using defenders in my Storm Shield defense, which caused me to eat up massive amounts of ammo. And having this guy in my Outlander that I was gathering with allowed me to keep up with that with no issue at all. So he ended up being a great help. And we'll run through him. You get the phase shift, so you're moving around faster. Loot Llama and Shock Tower for the fragments. And then he has the increased pistol damage, and he is a gun blazer. So increased pistol damage by 50% for 4 seconds after phase shift. So once again, when you're kiting, you hit the phase shift to get away, and then you open up with your pistol, and you're doing 50% more damage, which is a massive amount on somebody who has a focus on pistol damage. Capacitor, increasing your Shock Tower duration by 2 seconds, and then Teddy helping out. You get the Teddy with the fragment. Eagle Eyes, increased chance to get a crit hit with a pistol by 20%. So once again, pretty darn good. Locked and loaded. Llama Fragment now drops ammo. That is a nice thing to have, mainly when soloing to gather stuff. If you're with a group, also your soldiers are going to love you for being able to get them more ammo. Extended magazine, so now the capacity of pistols is increased by 24%. Pistols tend to have small ammo capacity, so this is a nice increase that helps out and reduces your amount of time you spend reloading. And then at 18, you get in the zone, so more pickaxe damage. 25, once again, you're increasing your teddy bear's fire rate. And this is a new one at level 30, Static Cling. Enemies hit by Shock Tower take an additional 50% of shock tower damage every 6 seconds. So now your shock tower's finally doing some more damage. Once again, until they change around the fragment system, the items like shock tower and the teddy bear are of limited use, but he is really good with a pistol, and I really do like his tactical support bonus perk. And then we go to Beetlejuice, and she is also one of my favorites. Run with her a lot. She is the one I will run with when I'm running in a group, and she just does massive damage with the pistol. She has the Ranger that we already went through. She has the bonus to the pistol damage of 12, and then all the same perks we saw before with the llama and Teddy, but really focusing on the pistol damage, level 5, increasing chance of crit hit, getting a shield bonus to help you on your defense, anti-material charge. Not a big deal on this character, but at 12 you're getting that increased pistol crit hit damage. You get your phase shift, and once again at 18 more pistol damage by 24%. You get your in the zone, and then the last two, huge power, the unphase, using your phase shift to remove affliction. A lot of times with the fire elemental husk, they do damage over time on you. Punch this thing, fatigue, vulnerability, or slow. Slow is the other one that actually, slow is the one I hate the most, because yeah, you get hit by a group of husks, you are slowed, you are going to go down pretty fast. You hit your phase shift, you're away from them, and now you can move at your normal speed. And talking of phase shift, you get one additional charge at level 30. Beetlejuice is great, and make sure the next Halloween event, if they come out with her, grab her as soon as possible. And then we have our last one, which just came around on the Christmas. Fragment Flurry Jess Reclaimer bonus. I'm not sure. Let's see. Increase energy damage. Okay, this bonus I haven't seen before on any other character. And since this is my last of the 4 hero classes, that means pretty much it isn't out there except on this character. Increase energy damage by 10%, which will probably increase as you level her. That is great. Energy damage, the more of that you can get, the better you are. But also it will really depend on how your hero is set up and what you're using as weapons. And then for tactical, bear stare, the Teddy now fires eye beams that deal 22 base energy damage. Unfortunately, I haven't seen anybody use this character. I really want to see somebody using the teddy bear with the laser eye beams shooting out, but haven't seen it as of yet. Oops. And her perks going through, she can get the llama, and obviously she can get the teddy, and she gets the shock tower as well. 5, you're increasing your teddy bear damage. 8, fragment generation. Every 60 kills grant 1 charge of fragment. Count resets after 15 seconds without a kill. This is a big deal. This is what hopefully they're looking at to help fix the fragment issue. At least this one. I mean, 60 kills is a lot of kills to have to get. But at least there is some way when you're fighting, because when you're fighting like an Atlas mission, you can't go running around the zone to find fragments. So at least this gives you the opportunity to generate a fragment. And hopefully Epic will keep looking at ways they can improve that system. Anti-material charge, talked about that quite a bit, mainly for gathering. 12, your shock tower now gets that 3rd bolt. Your teddy bear, this is the bonus perk we were just talking about, where your teddy fires eye beams that do additional damage. 18, up the voltage, increase the damage of the shock tower by 35%. In the zone, 18, long time to get it, but you finally do, and you're doing increased damage with your pickaxe after 5 hits. Berserker, increased damage by your Teddy by 25, and then Static Cling, which we just saw. Enemies hit by the shock tower taking additional damage. Her focus, obviously, is on the fragment charges and using those for the Teddy and the shock tower. Still, to me, they are just lagging in the game compared to the other heroes you have out there and their abilities. But please, if you get a chance, spend some time playing Outlanders. Learn how to use them, even if it's just soloing to gather materials. And once again, Outlanders like the Ranger and Beetlejuice are great for doing pistol damage and have a fun element in the game, moving around faster, and also having the element of gathering to help out whoever's constructing the base. Even if I'm playing the Outlander, I usually end up being the main person doing the construction on the base if we don't have a constructor. So having all that additional gathering helps out quite a bit. If you're just gathering for yourself, once again, I really like the Pathfinder. I know a lot of other people like the Recon Scout. And unfortunately, I don't have much to say about the other ones. They are either focusing on anti-material charge, which kind of helps in gathering, but it really puts you in a bad place when you're using it to fight. And then the other ones are focused on the teddy bears or the shock towers, which really aren't up to speed with other characters out there yet. So that is all 4 of the hero classes. Give me your comments. Tear the video apart if you want. It's all good. I enjoy hearing from you, and have an amazing day.